Okay, so in this video we are talking about monomials, and monomials are basically, a monomial is a term, I would basically say. So I basically just say a monomial is a term, and I'm just not going to fill this in because I don't know exactly where they were going with that, but what I want to mean by monomials are like 3x squared, that's a monomial, okay? Negative 2 is a monomial, and negative 1/2 x to the fourth is a monomial, okay? If you've ever been to Disney, you probably took a ride on the monorail, yeah? If you've ever played, a very popular board game, it's called Monopoly because one person is in control, right? If you are, many religions are monotheistic. They believe in one God, right? Monorail is one rail. That Monopoly guy, he typically is, we always think he's wearing a monocle, right? What's a monocle? It's just one eyeglass, right? Not two. So mono means one term, essentially. So the examples, I guess, are here, but we can give even more examples. So let's even try more examples. Another one would be like 2x squared y. That's still a monomial. Okay, so here's an example of one. Here's another one. Negative 3x y squared z. That's still a monomial. As long as there's no addition or subtraction, right? Monomials with the same variables and exponents. So I'm going to highlight same variables and exponents. Same variables and exponents. They need to have both the same. Are like terms. Okay. So to add or subtract monomials, it's pretty simple. Combine like terms. That's really all you're doing. Do not change the variables and exponents to add or subtract. So what I'm trying to really emphasize here is when you add or subtract, you do not change. When you add or subtract these, you do not change them. This is kind of important. Okay? So let's just look at our first two monomials there. You probably know this one pretty well. What do you think the answer is to that? You can just tell me. Anybody got an answer for this thing? Yep. Nice. The answer came negative 5x. I just simply subtracted 24 from 19, and I kept the exponent the way that it was. Okay? What are our thoughts on number 2? Anybody want to jump in and tell me what they think of that? Are they like terms? Do they have the same variable and exponents? Yes. So what do you think? Negative 19 and positive 2? What are our thoughts? Yes. Very good. Negative 17k squared. Did I change the exponent? Did I change the variable? No. That's it. That's the answer. So we're looking for similar. I see this as an r squared, an s third, a t. R squared, s third, t. Same variables and exponents. Same variables and exponents. It's going to be negative 8. Don't change it. R squared, s to the third, t. Okay. Let me take care of this fraction one for you because I know how you feel about those. 2/3. Okay, so I see that this is similar to this. They're the same. So I just need to do 2/3 minus 1/4. This is actually going to be 8/12 minus 3/12. It's going to be 5/12. 5 over 12 x squared y. Okay? So I would ask that you try to complete the rest of the evens here. Could you do the evens? So I would say pause the video and try to complete the evens here. It may seem like a little bit much, or even just the evens from negative 4 to 12. So I would just say numbers negative, sorry, I don't know why I said negative 4. Numbers 4 to 12 evens is what we're going to try to do. So pause the video and try to do 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12. That's it. It should only take a few moments. I'll see you in just a moment. Pause the video, give those a try. Again, I'm hoping you paused the video and tried most of these. I just want to give a couple answers to see if you're on track. So if you have paused, I'm going to give you the answers to 4 and 6 in just a moment. Maybe even the answer to 8, just to see if you got them, okay? And again, if you got those answers, I still want you to pause and try to do numbers 10 and 12. We'll see you in just a moment. These are just skills we need to build. Okay, it looks like we're, at least in class, we're ready. So I'm going to kind of show this again. This is an S and this is an S. This is kind of like, we know this pretty well. And then this guy has no friends, so he's just chilling. And that's it. Okay, now when we look at this one, we have this a squared b, this a squared b. So 9 minus 1 is 8a squared b. And then this guy is ab squared. You see how they try to trick you? So he is just hanging out, ab squared. That's it. Okay. Okay, so let's flip and we'll talk a little bit about the other side. You've done a little bit of this, I believe, at least in my class. Remember, we kind of came up with this product rule of x to the a times x to the b. It's x to the a plus b. So I think you'll probably be okay to answer these 3, particularly this is my 25-26 class. So this is x to the power of what? This is a to the power of what? This is w to the power of what? What power is this x to? You can just shout it out. X to the? Nice. A to the 5th. W to the 14th. Now the only thing is that you have to remember there's a 1 on this a, right? Not everybody remembers that. Okay. And so this is really just an extension of what we have already talked about in class. Speaking of my class here, you multiply the coefficients, which is the numbers, and then you keep the base, add the exponents for the variables. It's a little different than what we just did. But if we look at it and we just kind of pick out a couple of them, let's say we pick out this one, I'm going to multiply these numbers to negative 16. I'm going to keep the base for this and this, m to the 10th. Add the exponents. All right. Let's go to a more complicated one. Even if we go down, there's maybe this one, slightly more complicated, right? Let's focus on it. So we have an 8, and we have no other coefficients except for this negative, which I guess is a negative 1, right? See how they snuck that in there? Kind of sneaky. I'm not going to lie to you. Not going to lie to you, kind of sneaky. But that means that this is going to be negative 8, right? Now we're talking about these m's. The m's, we'll make them pink. We got 1m here. We got 2m's here. We got another 1m there. So how many m's do I have? M to the power of 1, 2, 3, 4. And then there's some n's going on here. We got 1n here, right there. We got 1n here, right there. And we got 9 n's here. 9 and another 1 and another 1. 9 plus 1 plus 1 is n to the 11th. That's the answer to 27. Okay? Now, there's one more thing I want to do. I don't want to do them all for you, but I do want to do 36 because 36 is now mixing those two ideas together. So if we look at 36, it says mixed practice. Well, that is because they are mixing the two rules into one. So let's do that, and then it will be your turn to basically practice. So multiply these coefficients. Negative 3 times 4 is negative 12. Keep the base and add these exponents. A to the fourth, a to the first, a to the fifth. Okay, that's a 5, sorry. I'll make that better for you. A to the fifth, right? And then what do we got? We got, I think we have here b to 1 to the first power, b to the sixth power. That's b to the seventh. That's the first example, but I now have to take that and I have to add whatever this is. But if I look at it, it's a negative 7 here. So it's going to end up being minus 7. Let's go back and do the a's and the b's again. Let's even do the a's with pink. A to the third, a to the second. So that's going to be a to the fifth, 3 plus 2. B to the fifth, b to the second. That's going to be b to the seventh, 5 plus 2. Are they similar exponents and variables? Are they the exact same exponent and variable? They are. And because of that, we can actually just combine them to negative 19, a to the fifth, b to the seventh. And that's a mixed practice. Okay? So that's it. We've been, it's been about 11, 12 minutes. That's long enough for me. What I would have you do, if you're in my class right now, of course, is to complete, I think, all of them. I might let you skip a couple, but start from the top. They're kind of easy. And we're just getting those skills down, right? We talked about it. So go back to number 1 and just kind of get through as many as you can. I might let you skip a couple. Good luck. I'll see you in the next video. Smash that like button. Tick the notification bell. Okay? So that you don't miss out on any of our videos. And be sure to follow and check out MrBasseri.com for all of your mathematical needs. We'll see you in the next video. Peace.